Once again, the two of us are liars. This is our confession. We thought Ben would be back tonight. Unfortunately, he has other commitments that made him too busy to join us this week. We respect all life decisions, and we will hope. See, we're not going to make promises this time. We're going to hope that Ben's back with us next week.
Because we enjoy it, All
Yeah.
when all three of us are on it, it's always a good time, you know?
Yeah. So, welcome to the Unqualified Film Bros podcast. Two-thirds of us are here. Uh, we would love to talk to you tonight about Olivia Wilde's latest, The Invite, and we're gonna. So before we get into that, there's a couple of news of the day things, Max, that I want to talk to you about,
Okay.
namely the Batman Part 2 getting pushed again.
Oh yeah. 2/18/2028 or 2/16 or something. What was
February of 28.
Yeah.
And this is a movie that was due out in 2025. It has now been delayed at least three times by my count, maybe more.
hmm
Uh, what do you make of this? Are we going to get this movie or
I think we're gonna get the movie, but honestly, when we just started getting the casting announcements and the day one of filming behind the scenes from Matt Reeves, I was like, all right, I feel like we're not gonna be moving too quickly into, getting a trailer or anything like that. We did get a short teaser, I guess. It didn't really do much other
we
than
have
tell us that it was delayed.
yeah.
So, you know, I, I mean, I guess I'd have to watch it again or maybe see if someone did a breakdown, if there's like something new with Robert Pattinson's suit or anything like that, or if the logo is different. But to be honest, I don't really care. Just give us the movie, right?
So our guy Matt Reeves, unofficial friend of the pod. We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him, I swear. I promise. This is a promise that we're actually gonna keep, unlike getting Ben back for next week's episode.
Oh,
Um, but Matt Reeves, very active on social media.
mhm.
He's been posting everything that he wants viewers to see, and I think that's the best way to prevent leaks is to have the director post stuff. James Gunn, another example of somebody who posts very deliberately.
Mhm.
But I did
And
see, just
you know
speaking
it's
of,
like legit, so it's always a nice feeling too.
yeah, speaking of differences in the bat suit for Pattinson,
hmm
we are getting longer ears on the cowl.
Okay.
So that'll be new for 2028, hopefully
All right.
2028.
All right.
Um, but yeah, we're getting Scarlett Johansson, we're getting Sebastian Stan,
Mhm.
maybe Barry Keoghan. I don't know.
Who
I don't
knows?
I don't think he's been confirmed. He was in the last scene of the first part.
hmm
Really, the only thing, and this thought is shared by others, I'm sure, as long as this film doesn't take place like a couple weeks in universe after the first movie, I think it'll be okay. Like if we jump forward a couple of years, a few years maybe, it'll be like the Dark Knight trilogy, where Nolan didn't have the Dark Knight come right after Batman Begins. Dark Knight Rises famously made 4 years after The Dark Knight, 8 years later in universe.
hmm
So the precedent is there. Yes, it is frustrating to wait this long for the Batman Part 2, but I don't see anybody complaining that it took from 2021 to 2026 to get a new Spider-Man movie. That's 5 years, and we're gonna
Yeah.
go, what, 5.5 years, almost
Yeah.
6 years between
Yeah.
Pattinson movies?
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if it's different though, just because we were never really given this, we were never made the same promises, as we were with the Batman Part
Also,
Two. But all I'm saying is I still think I'm still excited, obviously. But it feels like it's getting a lot of the same treatment as was
Beyond the
across this,
Spider-Verse.
yeah, Beyond the Spider-Verse. And
Well, Lord Miller have
y-
been
who
kicking the
know
can down the road on that one for a
they've been
while.
busy. They have been busy. They did make another film recently, so they
True.
did pretty well. So, um,
One of the best movies of the year, whatever.
yeah, yeah. But again, I mean, we don't really know what's going on. And so all we can do is just hope that we don't get, you know, that taken away. And to your point on the time jump, I'm hoping for 2 to 3 years at minimum. I'm expecting one or less.
That's fair. That's a fair way to
Yeah.
go into it. Um, Obviously Rob Pattinson is very busy. So
Yes, he's got
he's
what,
got
two more movies coming
Dune,
out?
he's got Odyssey, he has already been in the drama this year.
He's got the Dateline, or the Chris Hansen, I
That's
guess,
right.
biopic.
Sure, why
Yeah,
not?
yeah.
So we'll anxiously await any update that we can get on the Batman Part 2. But whenever it comes out, it'll be high on our watch list, and we'll definitely do an episode about it. God, looking back, the first part was like one of the first 20 episodes we did, 20, 30 episodes that we did.
Hmm.
And now I think tonight is 239, 240, somewhere in there. Um, Check the YouTube description down below where it says what number episode this is. So, um, Batman Part 2, pushed back.
Mhm.
Got a little bit of a teaser today. Matt Reeves, we're excited no matter when you give it to us, but please give it to us.
Yeah, I'm just hoping we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, Other news of the day, La La Land's coming back to theaters for its 10th anniversary. You gonna see it?
probably not,
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
see it.
honest.
I'm gonna see
Um,
it in theaters. I might
I
see it in Dolby.
I knew you would.
I didn't see it in theaters 10 years ago when it came out.
Mm. So
So this
then
would
this will be
be
fun for you.
a new experience for me as my second favorite movie of all time.
Hmm.
So, and if you'd like to hear more of my thoughts about La La Land and Max's thoughts and Ben's thoughts,
Hmm.
find the episode earlier in the playlist when we talked about La La Land.
That was a long
Way
time
back
ago.
when. That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
So, the moment you've all been waiting for, our review du jour, The Invite.
Hmm.
Olivia Wilde in her third feature film project. Max, I gotta ask, what'd you think?
I really like this one. It was really enjoyable. The the writing was really strong. It was punchy. And it was funny. It was funnier than I think I expected it to be, even though I think it was billed as a comedy drama. So like I knew it was going to be funny, but maybe expected it to be a little bit not obviously not quite as serious as Don't Worry, Darling, and everything like that, but somewhere in the middle between that and what was Booksmart.
Yeah,
Yeah, but really enjoyed it. All the characters were great. Hawk and
Pina,
Pina, and Olivia Wilde, forget her name.
Angela,
Angela, yeah, yeah. And Seth Rogen is just Seth Rogen. Um, but he's
Joe.
great. Yeah, but he's just Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
He's fantastic though.
yeah,
And like really, really good.
yeah. I tried my best to temper my expectations with this one.
Mhm.
I love every single member of the cast. I had heard nothing but great things about this film in the 4 days, 2 weeks because it was a limited release, the 2.5 weeks ish. But 4 days after it went wide, and a couple of my friends and coworkers had seen it before I did. And so I had heard nothing but good things about this film right from the outset. And so I went in with high expectations. I tried to temper them a little bit. I was unsuccessful. I was really excited. and those expectations were met. Um, we still have a lot to get through for the rest of the year. This has a chance to be in my top five. I'm going to say already.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, after Don't Worry, Darling, I think Olivia Wilde ran the risk of an early entrance into director jail, and this earned her a stay of execution. I think the direction here is really smart. I think going with a script, shout out Rashida Jones, co-writer on this. Uh, I think going with a script that is intimate and witty and just weird at times and sexy, and it's just
Definitely weird.
there's so much going on here, but it's four actors in one location for an hour 45.
Mhm.
And that's really cool. It feels honestly like a stage piece for a lot of the time.
Mhm.
I was even thinking while I was watching the sequence where they pair off, they trade partners and they pair off. Uh, I was thinking about how that would be presented on stage, and you wouldn't have the opportunity there to cut back and forth between scenes as Olivia Wilde does here. It would really have to be all of Joe and Pina and all of Hawk and Angela.
Mhm.
You couldn't really do like three lines of one pair and then you could put them on opposite sides of the stage and light it differently, but really it's two scenes parallel action. I was thinking about how it would play on the stage for a lot of the time beyond that scene. There are a few films, um, that film that came out a couple of years ago, His Three Daughters, with Carrie Coon, Natasha Lyonne, and Elizabeth Olsen. Um, that's probably the most recent example I can think of a film that really felt like it would work excellently on stage.
Mhm.
And then this one, it's the one location, it's the size of the cast, it's the story, but also, and I'm using this as a segue to start talking about the cast. We have four incredible performers here who are all at the top of their game. And it seems to me, Max, that they are all trying to outact everybody else in the scene, whether it's a group setting or just their scene partner. Everyone's trying to push and elevate and escalate in every single scene in the
Mhm.
best way.
Yeah, I agree, and I think I think the writing gives them those like step stools up. It's kind of like the ladder that they're climbing up to escalate, like you said, and they wouldn't be able to do that without the strength of the writing. Shout out Rashida Jones. Um,
Rashida Jones.
yeah, and you're right. They escalate it perfectly. I mean, you kind of have to in a story like this sell the bigness of it and the sort of ridiculousness of the story and how they get to these circumstances, and then sort of go all the way up and then find your way back down, where it becomes that human story of two people reconnecting or attempting to reconnect, in Angela and Joe.
Well, that was going to be my next question. There's a little bit of ambiguity at the end of the film. Uh, Pina and Hawk leave, disappear. We'll get into that in a second. Um,
They were just a ghost. They didn't really
no,
exist.
we're gonna get to that in a second. I want to address your last point first. God damn it. The apartment is left with just Joe and Angela in it. Is it Angela? I feel like we've been getting that name wrong this whole time. That doesn't sound 100% right. I'm checking Letterboxd. Sorry, folks. I really just
Um,
I need to make sure that I have this right. It's Angela. I was right. Never lost.
cool.
All right. So Joe and Angela are left alone in the apartment at the end of the film after a pretty intense, like almost spur of the moment couples therapy sesh with Pina moderating. Uh, and it kind of feels in the immediate aftermath that they are going to operate with the best path forward being a separation, divorce maybe, um, and not trying to stay together for the sake of their daughter. And then there's the last scene and the last shot of the film, which is just a gorgeous shot of two hands on the piano and then a third one joins
Hmm.
as Angela joins Joe at the piano that he has stayed away from for so long. Um, really, really beautiful moment, really beautiful shot. What do you think the ending of the film means for their relationship? Are they going to push through, or is this sort of like a goodbye?
Um, I don't I don't know. I think what I saw was um two people that still, after all this, love each other so much. Um, and that it might not be the end and they may separate for a while, but that doesn't mean that they divorce. It could just mean that they live separately for, 6 months or whatever, or a year, or however long, and reconnect and, try and do that through distance from each other because they were kind of going off on like opposite ends at the beginning. They had to redo the argument and it just ended up in the same place. They had their points they wanted to make and they're stuck in their ways of wanting to make their point in a fight. But then you see them literally reconnecting at the end. So I think at the very least, it's two people that love each other and could find their way back to one another. But you know, it is kind of beautiful to think about it as a goodbye, that the best thing for them at this stage of the film is for them to separate.
Yeah, I think by and large, I agree with you. I think the end result of what happens next after the credits roll is this kind of poignant goodbye for them. Um, if not a goodbye, then a see you later. And we're gonna work through this with the best step forward right now being at the very least sleeping separately. But I think what we get really ambiguous with is just seeing the hands.
Mhm.
I think if there was a reverse shot where we see their faces, Joe and Angela, we might get a better indication of what is going to happen to the two of them. And I think it's a really smart choice not to show that.
Mhm.
I think if we had seen a glimmer of hope or tears or a smile or anything in between or no eye contact with each other whatsoever, I think that would have made things clearer. And I think it's better not to know. I think we can make assumptions as we are that they're going to follow the advice that they landed on with Pina and do what's best for everybody involved, and that's moving forward separately. But if you want to choose to believe that Angela joining Joe at the piano is them realizing that they're stuck together and they're perfect for each other despite their flaws and their arguments and their bickering, that's fine too. I love a film that has an ending that is open to interpretation like that.
Mhm. And I think you're right. It is better not to be it. We don't need to be handheld. Like it, if you want to make it clear one way or another, you can do that, in your own way to make it not as in your face, but having that ambiguity and just being unsure. I think it's nice that someone can see it and read it differently.
Absolutely, yeah. So now to that other point, that other question, were Hawk and Pina real?
Um, I think so. I mean,
I think so too.
I was mostly joking when I said that. So,
Yes, but one of my coworkers who I talked to about the movie earlier
Okay.
today, she had seen the movie before I did, and she asked me my thoughts on whether they were really there or whether they were just figments of Joe and Angela's combined imagination as a coping mechanism for the end of their relationship
Mm-hmm.
and the best representation of themselves and what they hoped for and X, Y, and Z. And that inspired this question for
Mm-hmm.
tonight. But yeah, I think there's too much we get in the performances of Penelope Cruz and Ed Norton
Mm-hmm.
that indicate that these are real individuals. Um, the upstairs noise really is an indicator for me, at least, that they're legit neighbors and not just this idea of who their neighbors could be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's an interesting question, but as I ask it, I am answering it in the negative. So
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen this is I was reading about it and it's a remake of a Spanish film. And so maybe there's more there in the Spanish version, but I haven't seen it. But I don't think there's really anything there. I think they're real and that it is just a night in
it's
their
a dinner
apartment.
party.
Yeah, like
It's the
it
most
really is a
chaotic
dinner party.
version of an even more chaotic version of the dinner party episode of The Office,
Ooh,
which is already pretty chaotic, but there's
yes.
no there's no talk of orgasms or group sex or trading partners, at least in the version of that episode that I watched.
Well, Hunter sings about Jan.
Yeah, sure. Connor
But point,
sings
yeah,
about
I understand. I get it.
Hunter sings about it.
Yeah, Hunter sings
I,
about Jan.
I heard the name Connor and I was
No, Hunter.
Hunter sings about Jen.
Hunter.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, yeah. This movie, I don't know. How blind did you go into the movie?
I had seen the trailer, like one trailer, but that's it.
Same.
I think I kind of knew where it was going after. I don't remember, but it wasn't a huge surprise, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be my next question
Yeah.
is obviously this takes on a very sexual tone.
Yes, it is.
I think what gave it away for me in the trailer, even though it didn't quite confirm it, was one of the best moments in a trailer I've seen in a long time
Hmm.
when the two couples are standing around this bigger door frame in the apartment. You've got Olivia Wilde and Seth Rogen on one side, Ed Norton and Penelope Cruz on the other.
Hmm.
And Seth Rogen is going, you and you and her and me.
Hmm.
And as that happens in the trailer, all four of their names pop onto the screen, which is a
Yeah.
great way to execute a scene in your trailer and tell people who's in the cast, even
Hmm.
though these are four very well known individuals.
We're
Uh,
getting more creativity back into some trailers now recently, I've noticed. I'm thinking of The Brutalist, a couple years ago with the sort of march a long time and everything. And then obviously this one, and then what was the one that oh,
so what,
Digger. I guess the marketing for that has been really
I mean,
interesting.
that's just before you said that, I was going to say, okay, so A24 is getting really creative with
A24 is getting
trailers.
really creative, and I appreciate that
The trailer for
because
Backrooms was also
Backrooms was great.
very well done.
And like I like that. Bring that back. I don't we don't need to see the same thing over, like just you think we're getting bored of movies, we're getting bored of bad trailers for movies too. Because then we don't want to see it and then you don't make money. But if you give us a good trailer, then we'll go see it. And if the movie's good too, then we'll tell other people to go see it after we show them the trailer. That's good. So then we can back it up.
I like when Max gets on his soapbox. That's really fun for me. Is that really fun for you guys? Let us know in the comments below. As if I'm not going to get on my soapbox at the end of the episode with my usual rant. Yeah, I think what really strikes me about this movie is the strength of Olivia Wilde.
Mhm.
I think, and I've long said this about Jason Segel, is that he is at his best when he is performing his own writing. It happens when he's written episodes of Shrinking. It happens in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which is probably his best performance, in my opinion, just as a comedy actor. Um, to see him do that. Uh, but I've long said he's at his best when he's performing his own writing. I think Olivia Wilde is at her best here because she's directing herself. She knows exactly what she wants out of her own performance, and that brings a certain quality to her output in this film where there's something in the facial expressions and the neurotic behavior and even in the line deliveries that we get from Olivia Wilde that feel sharper than things we've seen her in before. And yes, she had a minor role in Don't Worry, Darling, but really, other than Florence Pugh, no performances in that movie were worth talking about in a positive way. We could talk day and night about Harry Styles' performance in that movie in a negative way. Um, but we had that opportunity 4 years ago, so we're not going to do it now. Um, but yeah, Olivia Wilde is a very, very clear standout here. Ed Norton, maybe the funniest he's ever been. I don't know. What do you think?
I thought it was great, on just on Olivia Wilde. Like I think she she really did excel here. I think the vision is clear. And like you could tell exactly what she's going for. Not just with her performance, but with just the sort of the direction of the film. Um, and I think that she was overly ambitious with Don't Worry, Darling, but it's not that she couldn't make that film later in her career and it be something remarkable, right? I think the
It was a big
ideas are
swing.
there. And I've said this before about Bradley Cooper as a director, that even if I don't appreciate or like the film that much, I appreciate that he's taking big swings. And I think she falls into a very similar category. I've actually liked more of her films than his, I think. I think she's what, three feature
She's done
length?
three.
Booksmart,
Book
Don't Worry,
Smart, Don't Worry,
Darling.
Darling, and
I
The
like
Ambiguous.
Booksmart, didn't like Don't Worry, Darling, liked this one a lot.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Two out of three ain't bad, and
I
every single one is ambitious in its own way, right? I don't think that she didn't shy away after Don't Worry, Darling, and I think that is something to be commended.
Yeah, admittedly, I have not seen Booksmart. It's a perhaps glaring omission in my viewing history.
It's a fun watch.
I think for too long I've just thought it was diet super bad on face value and have not actually given it a chance. But now, having seen Olivia Wilde as a very strong director here, and her direction of Don't Worry, Darling is strong.
Mhm.
She knows the story she wants to tell and she tells it. It's just the output and the quality of the film isn't there for us. Some people like the film. I'm sure Harry Styles probably did, maybe. Um, if he's not spitting on people. Anyway, um, definitely after seeing this, I have more of an open mind about Booksmart to add it higher on my watch list. It's been on my watch list forever, since 2019 when it came out,
Yeah.
but it's something that I'm going to prioritize sooner.
Yeah. It's fun and it has sort of the same kind of punchy humor where it's very quick and you kind of feel the intelligence of the character that's saying the line. Um, or sometimes
which we
in
get a
the
lot of here.
yeah, exactly. Like you can feel that
Mostly,
they know what they're trying to say and communicate, and if they're not being clear about what they're communicating, you can tell that that's intentional.
yeah, and that's mostly I would say from Seth Rogen and Penelope Cruz. I think they are the two most level-headed characters in this film. I think I think Angela, Olivia Wilde's character, is close to that tier, but she's very much trying to balance too much at once for a lot of the film. There's a lot going on for her mentally, where she's kind of juggling all these different things that are being thrown at her. And then Ed Norton is just there for a good time. And that goes back to what I was saying a few minutes ago about how he's the funniest he's ever been because he's just every line that he has here, he just eats the shit out of, for lack of a better phrase. He hits his mark with this witty dialogue in not quite a deadpan way, but in a way that's very dry
Mhm.
to deliver very, very funny lines and often very dirty lines. And hearing them come out of Ed Norton's mouth, when the last time we saw Ed Norton was as Pete Seeger, the sweetest man who's ever lived. I mean, juxtaposing this film with A Complete Unknown and just watching Ed Norton is wild.
He's a
But
great actor.
he's got so much range and he's such a
A
great
great
actor
actor. Yeah.
that we can see why he has had the career he has encapsulated in this film.
Hmm.
And Seth Rogen can fucking act, man.
He's really good. I mean, he's never been bad, but I think when there's something in front of him of substance, he can latch onto it. And he also does have a good creative mind. That's not to knock him either, right?
Yeah,
It's not that's not a knock at all. He just when he's acting in projects, it it just is a nice surprise to see something like that come out, right? Just knowing his personality. And he's so funny, but when he can deliver a performance like that, it's like, yeah, like I love that.
yeah, it definitely helps having four actors here who are so, first of all, well-rounded in their versatility on
Mhm.
camera, but also who care about their own craft to such a degree that they will push themselves and the role and their co-stars to enhance the quality even more.
Mhm.
So, The Invite is currently playing in movie theaters. Go see it on the big screen.
Yeah,
Go laugh with a theater. My audience was packed on a Tuesday morning. It was a Tuesday
lots
late
of
morning
laughs.
screening. Lots of laughs.
Laughs.
I was laughing out loud by the 10-minute mark. It's a lot of fun. Go have fun in a movie theater.
Hmm.
Speaking of fun in a movie theater, next week we're doing our first Nolan in 3 years.
Yay.
The Odyssey is coming to theaters. By the time this episode drops, it's already in theaters. So
Mm.
we're going to do The Odyssey next week. Hell of a cast, hell of a director, hell of a production. We're going to get into all that and so much more. Coming up next week. One else, right?
Why not?
So support your local movie theater, ban AI and filmmaking, and watch some damn good movies. Do a Nolan rewatch this weekend. Fuck it. And go
Sure.
see The Invite. So we'll see you hopefully with Ben when we come back next week. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.